Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and today I have a video for you that I am going to add to my rainy day projects playlist. This is projects when you want to do something creative but you just can't decide what you feel like doing, or you have a horrible weather day outside and you just want to spend some time in your craft room doing something productive. So this is one fun magazine project. You know, when you've used them up well, you've cut out all the pictures that you think you might use in your journaling or planner or whatever you want to do with them. But there's little morsels that are left and they can be turned into free ephemera. Now, I'm going to preempt this and say that I have used my die cut machine to make all of these. If you don't have a die cut machine, but you love paper crafting, it is honestly one of the best purchases you can make. And there's nothing wrong with buying a second-hand one. The one that I use, I did buy brand new because Kaisercraft used to make them. I got it for half price one day. But I've been using that thing for years and it still works seamlessly. So go onto Marketplace and try and find a second-hand one if you don't have the money to buy a brand new one. But they are a very worthy investment. But you can also use a pair of scissors to cut things out, or grab some punches if you have some of those. Just put some of these pretty things to good use. So I just grabbed 3. I spent a couple of hours doing some die cutting. And instead of showing you me die cutting everything and driving you mental, because that would take hours, I'm just going to show you what I made to give you some idea of what you can do with magazine images. So let me pop those out of the way and let's start with this batch here. Now, this was a really pretty cover on not an actual magazine that you buy. It's a free magazine that they produce on the Sunshine Coast. Yes, it's full of a lot of advertising, but I always manage to find some pretty things. Now, this cover had a fold in it. It had sort of got a big crease, so I was never going to use the cover as a whole. But what I did do, I created some labels, working around the crease, and look at these beautiful tags that I managed to make. So this is a great way, of course, to use up a cover. These are great quality now. They're nice and thick. They just need a piece of paper on the back if you want to write on the back, but otherwise they're perfectly great the way they are. The next thing, I love cutting out flags. These make great layering pieces, and because they're made from magazine paper, which is not that thick, they don't create too much bulk. So I just hunted for some prints that looked interesting, and as I said, great layering pieces. You know, add a few, add anything you like. You know, you can use a more plain one and then have your decorative piece on top of it. So love a few. I think these are actually called banners, but for some reason I like to call them flags. I don't know why. That's that batch. Then the next one, I just cut out all sorts of, these are rectangles or squares. Now, most of these I've done as background or layering pieces, but sometimes you just find a cute little image that you think you could use. So I die cut out that frame. These ones here, you could make little mini journaling cards or make bigger ones. But you know, sometimes often in magazines, you can only capture small bits because the rest is full of, you know, furniture or things that you may necessarily not want to use for crafting, but you just get cute little bits that are left, and this way you can put them to good use. Some of these are quite tiny. I love this little butterfly. I'm not going to fussy cut that out. That's way too small, but created a cute little label style for that one. Just thought that was interesting, and it was just this little bit. The rest was advertising. Pretty little floral. I think this was some wallpaper or some sort of furnishing, but I thought that was quite cute. And then I did like this little bit of pink and white business happening there. So all sorts of labels, any sort of shape, they can make great layering pieces. The same goes for circles. I have a circles die cut set. This was a colouring page. Loved that flower. Thought that was a great one. Then another flower. And then I loved this little pink and white bit. So I made a few of those. This was some lounge fabric. There was only this one nice little morsel that wasn't part of the lounge. And then this cute little, it's not really a flower, I don't know what it is, but I thought that made an interesting little piece. Then I made a few more tags of different sizes. Now, of course, these are quite thin. They will need to be backed onto packaging or even ugly scrapbook paper. Adhere those down and you've got some great little tags. Sometimes you just capture that lovely little bit of, like this one, a little bit of the beach. I thought that was really cute. A little bit more of that colouring page. This one here, this one's heavier, but it just had this little bit of white script on it. I thought that made a very cute tag, and I just liked the colours in that one. The other thing I love doing is cutting out whale tails or other tabs. Sometimes, see, look, I just captured that very pretty flower on that one. This one, I just liked the two tones of red. You know, these make great toppers for journaling cards. And even if they're thin, by the time they're glued down, they're strong enough to do the job that we need them to do. And then we have some smaller ones. So let's have a look at what I created here. So, for example, these little flowers. See these pretty little purple flowers? This was actually an image, a photo of a cabbage leaf. Now, I'm never going to use a photo of a cabbage leaf in my journal, but cut it up into little flowers and you have no idea that that was a cabbage leaf. The same goes for these pretty little ones. This was a bath mat. Again, I don't want a bath mat in my journal, but how cute are these little flowers? So any sort of, you just have to forget what the image is about. Just look for colours that you like. Now, when it comes to leaves, anything that's green or remotely close to it, I turn them into these cute little die cuts. See, they're all different shades, different patterns. This one even has a bit of yellow on it, but how cute is that as a die cut? Absolutely perfect. This one even has white on the back, not that it matters. So any shades of green or even a little bit darker, these are a little browner rather than very green, but they make really great die cut leaves. I found this bit of green, so I cut one of my grass strips. Just a little bit of this lilac I thought was quite pretty, so I cut a few flowers, even though they're a bit boring. If you layered them up, they'd look fine. Then I have this maple leaf die cut, and so anything that was sort of in those, you know, autumnal tones, they don't all have to be perfect. I mean, this one here has two different tones, but I think they make great layering pieces. And so anything orangey, yellowy, I thought I'd make some of those. And then, of course, my favourite, these are the seaweeds. Now, one of these was eucalyptus leaves. This one here was actually a picture, a photo of braised leeks, whole braised leeks. But how cool is that? And I think with underwater things, sometimes adding some different colours and stuff like that, I just love these. So whenever I see blues and greens, I like to use that because I love doing underwater things. So there you go. A very quick, very easy video. If you're bored one day, this is a great way to use up those magazines before they go into the recycling bin, and you can build up your ephemera stash completely free of charge. Hope you enjoyed this. If you use die cuts for magazines, let me know that I'm not the only one that does this. Or any questions, pop them down in the comments box below. And until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye for now, and thank you for watching.